All right. Your alarm didn't go off.
Yeah, and I was just telling you, this is what people who are late because they are bad at fucking setting alarm clocks and being adults say. I swear to God, this is twice now that like the last two times I've set an alarm, it hasn't gone off. Like
So do you look at it? So sometimes I like when my alarm doesn't go off, I'm like, oh, I didn't realize when I said it, it wasn't recurring. So it worked the first time ever, then not after that. Or sometimes I'll be like, only Tuesdays.
like I do this thing where I'm like always setting a new one.
Me
So
too.
like it just didn't go the fuck off.
It's there, but it was shifted left, and it
That's an
with a physical alarm clock, like an old school one, I get AM and PM messed up. If that's why it didn't go off, like it's easy to set an alarm for like
I,
6 p.m. and not wake up in the morning. It's all good.
I feel you. What's actually happening is confusing me. I think that maybe because my phone is on silent, the alarm's on silent, which has to be something that's like from a new update or something. Because like we were just discussing the other day, my phone could be on silent, but the alarm still goes off. In any case, I went to my dad's house yesterday. So I slept there, and I slept in my childhood bedroom, and I can never sleep very well in that bed because it's not even my childhood bed. It's like a bed that he put in there for guests, and it's like so soft and fluffy that you like squish down in it.
That sounds like heaven, but not for you.
Not for me. I've got that Casper mattress. It's nice and stiff. But anyway, I slept like an hour last night, and then got back up and like literally waited till 5 a.m. until like there was somewhere to get breakfast from. And I went and got breakfast, and then I sat there and waited for my dad to wake up so I could like say goodbye to him and then drive back. And I got back here at like noon.
I just processed that. Are you allowed to go there?
Yeah. I asked permission and like.
Okay, that's the part then. Okay, so you got permission to go that far.
Yeah. I certainly wouldn't tell anybody I wouldn't go without permission to begin with, but like right. I wouldn't like.
You're so close.
Yeah, I'm 30 days away. I'm 31, 32. Yeah, 31. But anyway, like drove home this morning, got back at like 11, and I was captivated by this high stakes poker game that was in the Discord. So I watched an hour or so of that, and then I was like, okay, and I guess I'll get 5 hours of sleep. That'll be plenty. And literally, like I woke up. I had the alarm set for 5:30, and I got to be here at 6, which is fine. I can hop in the shower, take a shower, sit down. Everything's always already set up here. I just need to sit down and press a button. And I got up at 5 to piss, and I was like, all right, 30 more minutes of sleep. And then the next thing I knew, my phone was vibrating. I was like, that was a good 30 minutes. And it's you calling me. We need to start. We need to start on time. And I'm like, oh my fucking God, how does this fucking happen? I'm honestly going to do it like in a moment. I'm going to order like a real alarm clock because I don't have an explanation for why this has happened. And if I'm ever late again, there shouldn't be an excuse because I don't have one. It literally just didn't go off. Or if it did, it didn't wake me up. Because when my phone goes off, my alarm is like music. It plays my Spotify playlist. So like, it's not that jarring thing. Because I had PTSD as a kid, borderline. Like when I used to work, I would stay up all night and then the alarm would go off. And I always had it set to this alarm that went, and like, I would wake up with my heart pounding. It was like this traumatic experience of like that sound was like linked with like the worst thing. It's like, get up, fucker. But I don't want to. Yeah, it's time to do stuff you don't want to do. And so now it goes off and it's like, each morning I wake up, get dressed and put on my makeup.
I rotate stuff like that because my alarm never goes off with good news. It's going off. Sometimes it's no big deal, right? Like trash night, for example. Sometimes whatever, like it, but it's always like an unpleasant interruption. It never says, "Hey, Woody, you forgot. There's a free sex and money and steak on the table." And it like my alarm does. I don't have an alarm for that.
I've just got the one good alarm. I've got the freedom alarm. It's been ticking down for a while. The trash alarm is smart because I'm one of those like semi-responsible adults who's like, it's Sunday. Oh no. Like, I'll wake up at 3 a.m. and I'm like, wait, is tonight Sunday? They're going to be here in 2 hours in the darkness of night with that fucking truck. And I'll have to like get up and take the garbage down because you've got like places to put garbage. Like if for example, like, oh yeah, I missed garbage day. You have garbage storage. You could burn garbage technically and like scoop up the cans or whatever that didn't burn. I don't. I'm in a house in in the suburbs. So like when I miss garbage day, it's a fucking catastrophe. It's like, what do I do with my garbage? Where does it go? And I end up with like just a giant pile of garbage. It's a real problem. I'm like, okay, well this week I guess we just don't do things that involve trash.
It's a question for you, Kyle. If I were to forget garbage, and this has happened, right? So now I have 2 weeks of garbage and the can is overflowing. Step one, let the can stack as tall as it can. It usually a few extra bags on top and the lid's not closed is okay.
Yeah.
If it gets past that, then on garbage night, I will slip a few bags into the neighbor's garbage cans who have extra space. Now, if this would have happened in reverse, I wouldn't mind at all. My excess trash can space is yours. It couldn't bother. Like, what? Are you going to get the inside of my trash can dirty? That can't be a problem, right? The inside trash cans are dirty. Are you taking space I wasn't otherwise used? Like I don't care at all. But I still feel like I'm being bad somehow for putting my trash in your can.
Yeah.
Where do you fall on this?
I think it's a Southern thing too, because we're so territorial down here when it comes to like little things like that. I feel like if I was in Jersey, it'd be like no big deal. It's like yeah, your trash is my trash, but down here it's like, what are you putting in my trash can? That is my trash can. It's like there's so much like macho territorialism down here, alongside with like that whole Southern thing where like if we see you on the side of the road with a flat tire, we're coming. Like we're gonna take pride in helping you fix that flat tire. There's a little bit of both mixed in together. I think if I asked my neighbor, it would be no big deal, but I'm not knocking on his fucking door. But I've been living next to the same guy for 2.5 years. We both know each other work out because we like see each other like heading to the gym or whatever, and we just give each other that like that's it. I have no idea what this man's name is. I know he works like nights. I know he has an odd schedule. He knows I've got an odd schedule. I see him over there hitting the heavy bag in his garage and stuff, and he sees me like coming in and out of the gym, like clearly like sweating or whatever from jogging and stuff. And we acknowledge each other, and that's it. No idea what. Every now and then I get his packages, he gets mine. We take them to each other. No idea what the man's name is, and I get it on a piece of paper like at least once every 2 months. But I wouldn't put it in theirs. I'll tell you what I do.
Well, I'm slipping it in the dark of night. I'm getting away with.
Oh, I'd be afraid of getting shot.
It is in the street at this point, not in their yards. Like they've already declared their finished trash for the week. That's why it's out.
I live in a neighborhood of very wealthy black people.
Okay,
and I am the only whitey in here, like at all. There are 2 other white people because I walk the neighborhoods for like exercise. After I do these 10-minute walks after every meal, and so like I
up all summer too. Even when the cuts
oh
finish.
yeah, oh
good
yeah,
for you.
Yeah,
I intend to. I'm sorry to interrupt your story. I was doing that. Summer got hot, and I said, "Fuck that." But I intend to bring it back. It's not too long from now.
I don't like having to take like 5 showers a day, but I do it anyway. For one thing, it's good for my skin because like I'll get acne if I don't like stay on top of like stuff like that. So I take my salt baths and everything, and I put oatmeal in the bath. This colloidal oatmeal stuff. There's a lot of things I do that people are just like, yeah, I can do that, and it's like, no, you can't. Fucking do it then. Take 8 oatmeal baths a day one day. See how you like that. I don't take 8, but I've taken 4 or 5 before. It's silly. But in any case, I walk through the neighborhood a lot. So I've seen every neighbor in the whole fucking area. There's 2 other whiteys. We look at each other like, surrounded, huh? I didn't know the rent was high. It seemed okay, but
Jesus.
Like I've got this big booty mama that lives right down the road from me, and I mean, like I could hit her with a rock if I threw it hard enough. Like 5-6 houses away, and she suntans in her front yard. She has a backyard. This is a nice area I'm in, a nice-ish. I mean, like.
But she chose the front.
She gets out in the front in this lawn chair, and she's got like a kiddie pool, and she'll get like face down in the kiddie pool, and she has one of the biggest asses I've ever seen. And
Help
not
me
in
visualize this. Is this a great big ass, like a fit, wonderful, juicy ass, or is this like this woman has a cottage cheese weight issue?
it's neither. It's more like one of those fantasy rap star asses. Like
Really?
it's a little it's way too much. Like I don't have enough dick to fuck this woman from behind. Like there's no way. Like I would just be fucking cheeks. Like you need a foot of cock to fuck this woman from behind because like she has.
I'll tag in.
I mean, I don't know if there's any way to like put our dicks together like a pool cue and like.
I just make whatever joke is funnier at the time. Big, small. I used them all.
Same, yeah. But yeah, it's just like she's out there and I see like all the neighborhood dudes are just like, hey, Miss Johnson, how you doing today? You need me to help you with your bags or this and that? She's got like 4 kids. They're all hanging around. It seems almost inappropriate. It does seem inappropriate that they're around her big juicy ass. Because I'm walking by, like I'm 8 feet from the ass, and I'm trying to like head forward on a I'm getting my exercise out here, but I'm walking by and I'm in like whatever shorts and like a tank top or whatever, and she's like, "Hey, you getting your walk in?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you in your front yard all white trash style with your ass hanging out." like she's just always out there in like a very revealing swimsuit in her front fucking yard.
Sexualized regardless of what they're doing, but a swimsuit, sunbathing.
Yeah, she's got a backyard, and look, black people don't need to sunbathe. Like she's out there for fun. She's not getting a tan.
I didn't even put that together. Yeah, black people don't sunbathe. What am I?
Like she's not trying to get darker. I've never heard of a black person being like, "Look how light skinned you are. You got to darken that up." Like they never say that. Like it seems like black people who are light skinned like being light skinned, and black people who are dark skinned sort of like, "Oh yeah, that light skinned girl. Yeah, she's high yellow." Like they're into that.
Wait, what was that? High yellow?
High yellow. You've never heard that?
No. What is that word? Say it slowly for me.
High yellow.
Oh, okay. But
yeah, work that into your vocabulary. Next time, Wolf's son, drop that for him.
I'm concerned that this is bad advice.
No, it's not. It's not as bad as that other thing you said.
Oh my god, I say "son of a monkey" all the time, mostly around like babies and stuff. Like it's in
good
my
luck.
everyday.
Good for you, because I'm making a T-shirt. They're making emotes for me. I'm like, I don't know if I can use those emotes until Woody signs off. Also, like several members from the black community will have to sign off on that emote. That's too much. Yeah, they're pretty ridiculous. Have Twitch
issues if it's.
I'm teasing. I don't
like that.
I don't have son of a monkey emotes. I specifically asked that they not make them. But yeah, I'm sorry I was late. I really am. I don't have an excuse other than my alarm didn't go off. Also, my dog ate my homework.
A whole litany of things went off target.
Yeah, that's why I hate that fucking excuse, because whenever someone says it, I don't fucking believe them. I don't believe them. I'm like, my alarm's never not gone off.
I've never,
because I've got a lie. I wouldn't say it as a lie. I'd be like, I forgot to set an alarm, which is the other excuse, or I'd be like,
I'm sorry to cut off. I might go the other way and take ownership of it. Like I could explain, I set it for AM. I said I didn't realize it wasn't recurring. Like I set my alarm improperly is something that I've said, as opposed to the passive, like it didn't go off.
Yeah, I mean it's set here for 5:30 p.m. I can only imagine that it did go off. I don't know if I get a notification that I missed an alarm. Missed alarm. Yeah, it's literally here. Hang on, let me make sure I'm not showing you anything I don't want to show. It's like Pastilia's gone live and Postmates is offering me a deal, so I think we're good here. But yeah, it says, I don't know if you can read. It'll focus.
Maybe I put you small so you're next to my camera.
How dare you? Anyway,
it's not you. I make both of us small.
That one says missed alarm at 5:30 p.m.
So it went off, but perhaps it was on silent.
Well, it shouldn't be able to be on silent, which is the confusing part to me, which is literally, I mean, I'm just going to buy a goddamn alarm clock. I'll get one of the cool ones that like does stuff. Like I won't get the old like red numbered rectangle. I'll get some sort of thing that like shoots the time onto the ceiling of your bedroom or something like that.
They've never worked for me. That I don't know. I don't know what's cool. I like the concept of one that's mechanical and like
Ding, ding,
flips
ding,
with
ding,
each
ding, ding.
minute, but I also like completely silent.
I can
Whatever.
hear.
I have to look.
I have to keep my watches in a different room because I can hear them while I'm asleep. So like
Sometimes, yeah.
that
What was
one
I going
too.
to say? Oh, yeah. I hit pull day hard today. I finished. I was like, you fucking got every calorie. I don't know how you measure a workout. Every bit out of this workout. And now every time I pull even a little bit, my muscles are cramping up. I tried to rehydrate. I just like I can't drink a water without being like, oh, stretch that out.
Yeah, yeah. It feels good when you do that because you're like yeah, I got everything out of that time that I could have. It's good.
Yeah.
Whenever you get a really good workout in, I'll walk out of the car and I'll be like, it wasn't a good workout. That wasn't a good workout. But sometimes I walk out and I'm just like, whew, we spared no expense tonight. like we got it all done and went back for more. Like I am just fucked. Like I'll ask myself, like, as I walk out, could you do a little more? Could you go back in there? Could you do some farmer's carries? Could you do some? Did you do lunges all the way to the door just for the fuck of it? Yeah.
On your way out.
Yeah, and everyone looked.
Some of my exercises have like a kicker at the end. Like one of my push days, for example, has dips at the end.
Yeah.
And I can get all the way to dips and feel like, this has been kind of a 6 out of 10. But dips will fuck up every push muscle I have and make sure that the time was well spent.
Yeah, I put in farmer's carries on pull days because I feel like that's a grippy sort of pulley exercise anyway. All the lat stuff and the seated stuff and even the curls. A lot of grip stuff going on anyway. So it just makes sense to like throw that in on those days. And on push days, I usually just like I'll either mix in like close grip bench or like push-ups and do one of those until like failure. By the end, like I'm not putting hardly any weight on the bar for like close grip bench because I just had completed an hour and a half workout of pushing stuff. So I'll put like 25s on there sometimes and I'll just be like, wonder how many I can do. And I'll just like just go to failure. Like sometimes it's only 15, sometimes it's 25, like whatever I can do.
I have a similar like it's not fair to judge a weight at the end of the exercise. On my push days, I do overhead press on each one. This is for people to know it's a barbell you lift straight over your head. Mm-hmm. And one push day it's at the front and the other it's at the back of the whole routine. And I lift like 40 or 50 pounds more at the start of the day than the end. So, anyway, close grip with, you say 25, so that'd be 95 total.
Yeah.
Like, that just tells me that you spent it. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Like by the end of it, because I've already done like heavy bench and tricep cables and overhead press dumbbells and on and on and on and on. Some people don't understand that because some people go and their workout is bench press until failure. I'm gonna do like 12 sets of bench press. Like I'll start with 95 and work my way up to 225. That's my workout. It's like that is a stupid person's workout.
It sounds fun, but not that effective. But I don't know. I just like, I would like that day in the gym, even if it didn't give me what I was looking for.
If that day existed in my repertoire, like I would enjoy that day. But it does not.
Until I got injured. I think that because am I 13 years older than you? 15, something like that. I think I'm more injury prone for that reason. And a lot of my working out strategy involves not getting fucking derailed by that. So
because our fans don't always understand satire and sarcasm, this is the one time I'm going to explain it. We're going to troll Diego Sanchez.
Okay. Did you see that I tweeted him?
I did, and I loved it. I'm going to say things to and about Diego Sanchez in the coming days and weeks that I'm aware are untrue and are not feasible. But I'm going to say them nonetheless. So this is your one time /S. Okay. So let it be. Yeah. The trend continues. A professional athlete.
Oh, he replied to me?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that. I'm just learning that now.
I knew. I was like, okay, we got your attention. I'm shocked that you can operate an electronic device. Excellent. Excellent.
Wait. Oh wait, this needs to. Is that the real him? Because I got 577 likes and he got 9. That's the real him, right?
Yeah, that's him.
Oh, he's verified. The check mark. Thank you, Zach. It's right next to him. How did I? Okay.
Yeah, he's going down. Yeah. Yeah. I think the premise is going to be that I've already signed and that he's running.
This is fantastic. I'm a big fan. I'm here to help.
You can't run forever, Diego. Papers are signed. I'm going to hold up fake contracts.
Sign the contract. Make it a
sign. Like list a whole list of sports that I'll face him off in if he's too much of a pussy to bare knuckle box.
I need Chael Sonnen to report on this story. That's when we've achieved success.
I'll do that. What's that? Remember from Tombstone when he's like, "How about a spelling contest?" like just whatever. We'll play Call of Duty. We'll box. We'll do jujitsu. We'll do kickboxing, Muay Thai, like whatever you want. Like we'll go to the woods and have a kumite. You pussy. Just go on and on about how he's got CTE, how he's just a broke down old man, how he's washed up, how like the UFC doesn't want him anymore and nobody wants him. If we're being honest,
this is hurting.
Just go on forever.
Kumite. What? I've heard you say that. I don't know what that means exactly.
Oh, it's this old story that maybe Rogan retold or somebody on his podcast. I just remember someone telling the story of like this guy who was like, he was one of those fake martial artists, and he was like, yeah, there's a kumite, a secret kumite in the woods this week. Just drop me off. I'm competing. Kumite is like a martial arts tournament. Imagine Mortal Kombat, but for real. And
okay.
it would probably, I'm guessing, KUMITAE or something.
The CUMITE, but I don't know if it's spelled kumite. Like the. Yeah, they say that it's a part of karate training. I don't know. Anyway, you were saying,
but like this guy had told this story about like, and I can't recall where I heard it told. It's probably someone in the Joe Rogan sphere, right? He was like, yeah, this guy, he was like a fake black belt or whatever back in like the 90s when like nobody knew what anything was in the early 90s, and he was like, yeah, I'm competing in a kumite this weekend. Drop me off on this road, this track of road, and come pick me up in 3 days. 3 days time, come back. 5 p.m. Drop him off, come back 5 days later. He's got a huge trophy. He's just got a huge trophy. He's just like, yeah, I won the kumite. It's like, apparently this guy was like a well-known like fake martial artist, one of those guys he probably went camping and like already like his buddies showed up with like, and it's one of those grand champion oversized trophies that like you wouldn't even see in professional sports. You only see in like nonsense that are like 4 or 5 feet tall. My dad used to shoot. He traveled around the country and did archery tournaments. They do these 3D archery tournaments, and he never like displayed trophies, but he had this storage place where like he just had like piles of them, and some of them were like 3.5 feet tall. And when I was a kid, they were like taller than me. It was one of these absurd, silly trophies that people only give away when they don't have enough money for like a real prize.
Yeah, I was thinking about
we got you $180 trophy in lieu of prize money.
The highest prize I can think of in all of sports everywhere, this includes like bigger than an NFL championship, bigger than an NBA championship, is probably an Olympic gold medal. And it's not that much to see.
Yeah, I wonder what the monetary value of the gold is. And I wonder because I doubt it's solid gold.
I'm pretty sure it's not. I these most recent ones, someone posted their medal and the gold's chipping off.
That's super lame. But yeah, the gold medal to me, and like maybe the Nobel Prize and an Oscar, like those three are like the most recognizable, like, oh shit, you did it kind of trophies. Like a Grammy is like a step below, I feel like, and like an Emmy is like 4 steps below. I'll never forget that episode of The Sopranos where that guy's trying to pawn off an Emmy, and the guy's like, I don't know, $80. TV? Come on.
Yeah, I forget what show it was, but like someone had an Emmy displayed on their like mantle above the fireplace, and the guest walks in and they're like, "Oh, an Emmy. That guy over there has a Grammy," and it's like putting down their Emmy. But
yeah, like especially back in the day, like an Emmy was like, okay,
TV, right?
TV, yeah.
And Grammy is what?
Music. That's like the highest music award.
You'd think they'd all be you'd think it'd be music and Oscar would be the same because they're both annual prizes.
I think they're very close, but like, I don't know. I don't know what the numbers of Oscars that are given away every year and the number of, like, certainly like the MTV Music Award is like one of the lower tier awards, but like I don't know. I guess Grammys are a big deal now that I think about it. Like
what it's for matters. Like if you get an Oscar for Best Leading Actor,
yeah,
that to me is the cream of the crop. That's the number one Oscar.
Yeah.
But then there are other Oscars that are given away to a team of audio effects artists or something, and that means less.
Yeah, it does mean less, honestly. It's rare that the audio effects you can be like, oh yeah, man, I do remember that. That was kind of wild, huh? They did a thing that was new and innovative. But most of the time, it's just like okay, I guess that movie sounded okay.
Or even if it is, let's say it was like best CGI. All right, well that goes to the 92 people who worked on Star Wars or something like it.
Yeah, I think I know the Lord of the Rings won like a lot of them. They may have won 9 or 10 one year. Like it was a ton of them.
Right.
I was in high school at the time, and I did like Lord of the Rings a lot at the time. It was one of those first movies where like I had a driver's license and I could go like experience a thing I was into, and so I was really into Lord of the Rings at the time. But that's one of the bigger. I think they won more than anything. I think Lord of the Rings did, because I know Star Wars has a few. But
yeah, I don't know if they set the record for a year, but if I were to guess which movie was, they'd be high on my list, right?
Yeah.
I mean, who would be more than Lord of the Rings? Like whoever dominated more than them?
Especially when you had the whole trilogy, because like Return of the King alone, if I remember correctly, got like 8 to 10 one year. They were certainly nominated for like 8 to 10. It was a lot, but yeah, I don't know. Awards are cool. And anyway, this guy was like a fake martial artist, and he was like going and pretending he was in kumites, like fighting out in the woods like Mortal Kombat with a bunch of other champions who apparently also had to show out in the woods so that they could use their dark arts that aren't legal in like some boxing ring somewhere. So yeah, I'm gonna troll Diego because I think he's dumb enough to be trolled. I don't think I could troll like a Tony Ferguson. He just wouldn't reply probably. I don't think I could troll a Max Holloway or somebody like that, or even
certainly not at like it go extreme. Like Chael Sonnen would never fall for that. Colby Covington, I mean, he runs the game. He doesn't fall for the game.
He gets it.
Fighters like that.
But we're dealing with a dum-dum here, and so I think it would be fun to fuck with him. So like you guys have to be like tweeting him all the time, and like and you got to be like pumping me up. Like you don't even know how long he's been training for this. You don't even know. Like you need to be on the side of like, look, don't let him trick you.
I'm gonna put in a request. Find a picture of Diego not looking his best and do it you versus the guy she tells you not to worry about meme.
Yeah, stuff like that, and tweet it at him, and then like every now and then be like, look, Diego, don't let Kyle trick you. He's been training for this for years. This is all he does is train boxing or kickboxing. Like just make up martial arts that I do. I don't care. Like tell him that I was in fucking Thailand for a year and a half training with masters. Tell him that I lived as a Shaolin monk for 5 years one time in my teens. Like
you might fear that. Like, ooh, live with the Shaolin monk. That's not horseshit. That's great.
That actually might terrify him because he comes out with that nonsense painted on him, but
right.
from that pedophile who's been raping him.
Joe Lozon's not scared at all if you spent time at a religious retreat. He's like, that's not where good fighting happens.
I'll tell you what would scare me is if they said, oh yeah, he went to Thailand and just fought in the Muay Thai like circles for 3 years. Wait, they didn't immediately murder him and send him back home in pieces? Oh no, he competed well. He won the juju competition and he beat Makoko. And it's like, oh god, what a nightmare in the night, because those Muay Thai guys, like they start training when they're like 3 years old or something like that, and by the time they're 15, they're washed up old men because they've had like 150 professional fights.
You
It's
might
absurd.
know this, but surely there's some listeners who don't. One of the reasons people go to Thailand and then come back a much improved fighter is that they're running from USADA, the drug testing agency. So they go to Thailand, they get some fight experience, but they also get a steroid cycle in where no one's coming to test them.
Yeah.
And then they come back and they're like, Woody's a whole new guy. Yeah, the fuck I am. Yeah. It's like he put on 14 pounds of muscle in Thailand. Yeah, that's a good estimate. I did. That's one of the advantages to training in Thailand.
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know. I think it'd be fun to like fuck with this guy because he's dumb enough to fuck with, and I just think it would be funny. Like he won't get the satire because he can't understand such a difficult concept. Just like some of you guys out there, but that's okay because you watch the show, so I like you.
I have another topic. Yeah, you brought it up earlier. There was a high stakes poker game last night. People had maybe 14 grand on the table. Have I exaggerated? Do I have that about right?
You're under the mark. I think at one point there was like 17 and it sort of lowered down to around 15. But then when I started watching, like people like joined to like watch me watch. So like it went up because like new people joined the game. Yeah, I don't know how it ended. Like because I had to like rush in here and just like sit down or whatever. Like I'm literally like when I sat down, I was just a couple seconds out of the bed. I'm gonna pull it up to see like what happened because they started playing last night at 9 p.m., 8 p.m., something like that. And like I said, I slept a little. I watched a movie at my dad's house. Drove back this morning. Got home at 11 a.m. And Dirty messaged me and he's like, dude, there's like $17,000 on the table.
Dirty made 1,200. Scum made over 700. That's nice. We all hope he does well. Ghost Rhino, who I don't know, was up 1,900. And Alexander, is he the relatively good-looking guy who plays poker really well? Young.
Yeah. That describes him.
He seemed to be the big winner, up 3,400. I don't know if we want to call out the big losers, but one guy lost 6,650. That's a rough loss. Another guy lost 800.
Just to be clear, that's $6,650.
Yeah, I wasn't clear on that. Thank you.
Yeah,
so one guy lost $6,000. That funds most of the winners.
Yeah, I think that he was a big part of why everybody was still playing. Yeah,
because he was just giving away money.
Yeah, the Alexander who's really good at poker that I've mentioned before, $3,400 in that he won there. That's wild. And then a few of those other people joined late. Dean there who won 47. Look at his buy-in. He bought in for $5. He sat down when there was like a ton of money on the table. Someone loaned him $5 to sit down, and he sat down and doubled up twice. And I know that doesn't come to 50, but because
is that the Dean with the mattress?
Yeah.
$47 in winnings means a lot to Dean.
Yeah, he sat down with $5 and quickly left with $2, and he was like, "Cash me out," because he played 2 hands in a row and won both of them against multiple opponents, and just got the fuck up and left.
Poor Dean doubled his net worth.
That's what they said. What they said. Yeah, they were like, he had 27 cents in his bank account before that happened. Like you have no idea how big this was for him. He can eat this week.
Poor Dean.
Whenever Class busted him one night, or at least he thought he was going to bust him, like get all of his money, and like Class preemptively wrote in the chat, like there's a poker chat. He's like, "Enjoy the ramen, bitch." It gets a little mean spirited sometimes between some of them, but yeah, they I guess like people kept losing money to certain people, and like so other people would put more money in to match them, and by the end, one guy was sitting there with $5,000, and everybody else had around $2,000 to $2,500 in front of them, and they're still playing 1-2, which is nonsense. $1 and $2 blinds, because you usually play like 100, 200 big blinds. So like you play 1-2 when you have like $200 or $300, but they're playing 1-2 when they have like $2,000 or $3,000 or $4,000 or $5,000. They should be playing at least 2-5, but they could easily play 5-10 or 10-20. It's
So
kind of
if I
nonsense.
understand this for my fellow non-poker players, the first guy who puts money in kind of like an ante puts in, what do you say, 5-2? Puts in $2. So then everyone as subsequent to that puts in 5 as they go around the table.
Yeah, and there's going to be a raise. Like it's not as if everybody's gonna agree to that. Like someone's gonna be like, let's make it 15. But like just raising the stakes of the game means that there's more money in every pot, regardless of like what cards anyone has, just because of the way the game gets played. But the guy who had like the most money seemingly to lose wanted to play 1-2. So everybody was like, yeah, we'll play 1-2. Sure. That sounds good. That guy apparently is like a hedge fund manager or Wall Street guy or something like that. He's got they told me I've spoken to him a few times.
Is he the one I'm thinking of that mentioned he was an ex-hedge fund manager? He had to leave early.
I don't know. I believe he's Lebanese, so probably not. I know. I'm told his rent is $45,000 a month.
Yeah, so he was able to lose $6,000 and no sweat.
Yeah, it's no sweat to him. He doesn't mind at all. He's having a good time. Alex B, you need to come hop in my Twitch chat sometime. Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ, man. Yeah. It was fun to watch. I just spectated the game for a while. I didn't want to. I was still so tired, and I didn't want to sit down with like. I would have needed to like at least buy in for $1,000 to like play in that game, and I did not feel like risking $1,000, especially with so little sleep.
Oh, that reminds me of a couple topics. I don't know if we can go the full hour today, but we'll go a little longer. The Woodley fight. So people don't know. I always mess. His name's spelled Tyrone, but it's pronounced Tyron.
It's actually spelled Tyron. Tyron.
Tyron is exactly how I spell Tyrone.
You don't put an E on the end?
Am I wrong about? Maybe I'm okay. I think I just don't know how to spell Tyrone. I think we've discovered that. So, anyway, Tyron Woodley fought Jake Paul, and it is rare that I want to bet big money on a fight because, in air quotes, whenever I know who's going to win, right? Whenever I have a high level of confidence on who's going to win the fight, that guy's an overwhelming favorite, and it doesn't make sense to bet. And, whenever I have an inkling that it's backwards or so, like I have a lot of doubt. I had a lot of confidence that Tyron was going to win and he was the underdog. And I was like, oh, is this the time? People who know me know I rarely bet over $5. $5 is my standard bet, and it's just uncommon for me to even do 10. I'm like, I should put $10,000 on Woodley. I should do 10 grand. Yeah, the way the odds worked out is I'd get 17 grand. And to be clear, that's like 27 grand back, but 17 of that is winning. Mm-hmm. So you risk 10 grand and then you get 17 in profit plus your 10 back.
Yeah.
And I was like, because I don't want to bet like $20 and have it not be worth, like not give a fuck about winning and losing. So I was like, I should bet $10,000 on this. I think I'm going to make this a go. And, in the end, I wasn't that sure, and I kept my money in my pocket.
Yeah.
And thank goodness, because what I knew to be true was not true. Tyron Woodley in his last 4 losses has had this same problem where Kyle and I have joked he's been loading up that right hand for like 25 rounds now. And when he finally throws it, it's going to be a nuclear event. I watched him fight, and even in the first round, I'm like, oh, right. This is why he's on a 4-fight losing streak. This is why he's out of the UFC. He just hesitant. He's not throwing. He's waiting. It's a little longer. He's just like waiting for this perfect opportunity to throw a punch. Meanwhile, the other guy doesn't give it to him. He keeps moving around. He keeps throwing his own punches. It's like he's waiting for a mailed invitation to actually throw a punch. His nickname is the Chosen One, but the internet calls him 2 things: the Frozen One and Tyquil. Right, a NyQuil play because he puts you to sleep, but not in a good way. He puts you to sleep because he bores you. And as soon as I saw like a round or 2 in, I'm like, oh my God, I am so glad I didn't bet on this guy because he's not fighting back.
It's embarrassing. Like the whole MMA community is slightly embarrassed today than they were after the fight. Because I saw so many memes where it's like the whole MMA community right now, and they're all like holding him up on their shoulders, like before the fight, and I'm just like, ooh, we're laying a lot on the shoulders of a man who hasn't thrown a punch in years. Like,
Yes,
I don't know
it's 2018 or something
like either he has an injury we don't know about, in which case he should disclose it so that we don't rag on him anymore. Because Tyron, if you have like a degenerative brain disorder or something like that,
he has two bad shoulders. He can't throw a punch.
Or something like that. Like if you literally have had both your shoulders rebuilt, like poorly, then like man, you're fighting well for a guy with Parkinson's. You know, like you're for a guy. I mean, maybe you should compete against other athletes with Parkinson's. Maybe Michael J. Fox wants to mix it up in the ring. Like who knows? You could probably
somebody dig up Muhammad Ali.
Yeah. You could definitely take the corpse of Muhammad Ali. And I mean, you both have like very similar punch counts at the end of it. Frankly,
you'd be waiting for an opportunity to throw a punch against a corpse. I'm
not ready yet. I'm timing better first.
I was so sure that Tyron was going to win, and in the end, maybe they asked Jake Paul why he chose him. He's like, a couple things. I think he's incredibly overrated. He's really hood, he's street. So, he's going to help me hype the fight. He's going to get legitimately angry and stuff. And he did that. And he's like, he's got that big booty. But what he's saying is that he's like carved out of marble. If you look at Tyrone Woodley, he has one of the best physiques to have ever competed in the UFC.
He looks good.
And those are the reasons that Jake Paul chose him. And in the end, Jake Paul looks like a genius to me. They did hype the fight well. They did make millions and millions. He did come out like he was carved out of stone or marble, I meant to say. And and he was overrated. Everything Jake Paul said was true. So
it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing because, and I was reading this morning, or yesterday morning while I was in traffic getting to my dad's place. Like on the UFC subreddit, the MMA subreddit, and people being like,
"You're reading in traffic?"
Yeah, it's like
I choose to believe on the motorcycle, but carry on.
Yeah, it's stop and go. It's silly traffic. So but they're like, this has set us back decades. Like the casual fan that we've been trying to explain for years that we are a sport full of actual ninjas and actual action stars. Like now they're like, I don't know, maybe Chuck Norris could beat up John Jones. I mean, yeah, maybe Bruce Lee would be the champion of the UFC. Like it's hard to refute them now. Now it's hard to refute them because a YouTuber has beaten up two former MMA champions. He wiped the floor with Jake Paul or with Ben Askren, former champion, a guy who had an incredible record. Then he wipes the floor with Tyron Woodley, another not just a flash in the pan champion, but a guy who KO'd Robbie Lawler, a guy who was the champ for years. I remember when Tyron Woodley was the champ and being there's nobody out there that can beat him. After he beat Wonder Boy the first time, as boring as it was, I remember I think
draw.
Yeah, or maybe it was when he won it the second time, or somewhere around that timeline. I remember saying on this show, being "There's nobody in the division who can beat Tyron Woodley. There's no one out there who can deal with his style because he's so hard to deal with. He's so hard to deal with. And then if you do try to challenge him and get wild and force him to act, he's just so big and strong and talented. There's no one who can fuck with Tyron Woodley. And here we are, 4 years later." Not a long period of time, and nothing happened to the man. He didn't have some crisis in his life. His wife didn't pass away from terrible circumstances, and it's oh no, he didn't have a car accident where it's oh, will he ever return? He didn't get KO'd and beaten where maybe there's a little bit of mental thing going on, and also there's this Tony Ferguson seemed to fall apart at one point. That didn't happen. It was just one day, Tyron Woodley was no longer there.
In paragliding, there's this concept of a fear injury where, maybe you had to throw your reserve. I think it happened to me at some level. And afterwards, like, you're fine. There's nothing. You landed fine, but now you see the whole thing a little differently. You're a little nervous. You just don't. You never get into that like flow state where everything works properly for you. You have a fear injury, and that's how I see Tyron. I think Kamaru Usman. I'm pretty sure I got that right.
You did.
Just like wrestle fucked him. He was a stronger guy. He was better at being Tyron than Tyron was. And ever since then, he's been loading up a punch for 25 rounds now. He just fought 8 rounds. And 33 rounds now. He's been loading up that punch.
He's so afraid to throw. And like against a guy who can't hurt him, it just made so much sense for him to like turn loose and like do something. But I don't know. It's embarrassing. It's very embarrassing, but not as embarrassing as what I'm going to do to Diego the Nightmare Sanchez if he ever pulls that dick out of his ass, wipes that dirty shit off his chest, and steps in the ring with me.
Yes, the dirty Sanchez has no chance.
We're gonna have fun with this if you guys help me. We can literally troll this professional athlete to the point where it'll be hilarious. Like he'll eventually actually get mad.
Yes. It's not a very safe thing to do, but you should be okay over the
What's he gonna do?
See you someday.
Let the professional athlete assault me in public. I would love that. Like,
I see where you're going with
does
this.
John Jones want to come attack me as well? Bring it.
Kyle, you need to pick on wealthier fighters.
I know, right? Fucking Conor McGregor.
Now you're talking. Conor McGregor must be easy to provoke. He'll hit you.
If any professional athletes want to like randomly assault me in public in front of witnesses and cameras, fucking bring it. I'll fucking headbutt your fist. I'd love that. First of all, the lawsuit would be hilarious for the show. But second of all, I'll take your free money that you fought for.
Right. You trained so hard to get. You spent all those years you toiled away for 8 to show and 8 to win.
Yeah.
$8,000 this is.
Yeah.
All right. Should we call it a wrap?
I think we should. Sorry, you little short boys. It's my fault. I'm literally going to buy an alarm clock. I will never be late again. It'll be impossible.
Yeah. For people who don't understand, we have 2 hangouts tonight, so we have to be on time for those. So, all right. PKN 3.